Hi everybody, my name's Matt. You might know me as Soggy Prince or his Diaperness from some of my various online personas. I've been an ABDL and openly gay for many years now, and we're here to do a little interview to give some of those of you who are a little bit new to the community or
wanting to join the community,
some tips and tricks for how to get started.
And even if you've been in the community, in the gay diaper boy community, you might learn a few things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. My experiences might be a little different than yours, and feel free to add in the comments with anything that you guys have had, experiences that might be different than mine.
So let's pretend that I'm a gay diaper boy, right? Okay. I just turned 18, and I can finally join the ABDL community. Where do I go first? What do I do online, on my phone or whatever?
Well, then there's so much social media now that, I mean, you can pretty much just pick whichever you want and go from there, but there are a few like diaper specific things or fetish friendly communities that are good places to start. You've got Diaper Boys, which is a website that is kind of like Facebook except for diapers. I feel like you get a little bit of limited communication there. Some people are on it a lot and are always checking their messages and they'll get back to you frequently. Some people, they don't get back to you as much, but it's a good idea to like go there and find yourself amongst people of a like mind and see just how many other people there are. There's also like a local search function, so you can look up people's profiles that are like specifically close to you if you're more interested in getting to know people in your area versus just taking a shot in the dark at, you know, where somebody may be from. If you are looking for more sexual experiences, you've got Recon, which is like a fetish-based like hookup/dating app. And that's something you can download directly to your phone, and you can make a little profile too with, you know, some of your likes and dislikes. You can search those likes and dislikes to see what other people are into, what you're into. There isn't a diaper tab yet, but hopefully there'll be one coming.
Oh, okay, so this is not ABDL specific.
This is not ABDL specific, but it is fetish friendly.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar to like Fetlife, but it's gays only on Recon. That being said, Fetlife I feel like is not as active as it used to be, but there are still people who do stuff like events. Fetlife is worth it. Also kind of like a Facebook profile idea. You kind of like make a little bio about yourself, and then you can add likes and dislikes, things that you are into and stuff like that. And of course there's all the Instagrams and Tumblrs and all that other stuff too that everybody is on, but that obviously is not specifically gay, but you can definitely find people on there who are and kind of get yourself included in the community that way.
I find a lot of the gay diaper boys, they are on Discord or the Telegram.
Discord and Telegram are two.
Yeah.
Telegram I feel like is as much furry as it is ABDL. I think that's like what it's mostly for is furries, but a lot of ABDLs on Telegram, and that's just like an instant messenger client. You just basically make yourself a screen name. You can add a pic or few of yourself. But there's so many different chat groups out there, and you can meet people from all over the world, as well as people who are possibly like right in your neighborhood.
So how do they find those chat groups?
Sometimes you can just search for groups. Chances are, if you are on any of the other websites that I mentioned, you will meet somebody and they will have like a Telegram or a Discord. There's like a search option, so you can search for people by their usernames, or you can search for groups by like the title of the group as well.
But how do you do that?
I mean, it's hard to search for a specific group unless you know exactly what you're looking for. So chances are you want to meet somebody and they'll be like, oh, hey, I'm in this group for messy diapers, or I'm in this group for, Vegas locals, or whatever it is that you might be, and then they can kind of invite you into those groups. But yeah, otherwise you can just like, you could type in like Vegas diaper boys or like gay diaper boy chats.
Do you find that a lot of the guys in these groups are very friendly and they reach out to other diaper boys, or no?
I mean, yes and no. That's the way it sort of just goes with real life. You are going to find a couple of people who are going to be really awesome and open and cool. You'll find some people who are a little bit catty. You'll find some people who are not as friendly. So it's really up to you and the kind of people you get along with. But I say that it's better to have like broader horizons, you know what I mean? Like, especially if you're brand new, I'd say it's better to cast a wide net and see what you catch, and you can always throw anything back that you don't like. You know, if you meet somebody and he's kind of a dick, then don't talk to him anymore.
Right.
Or if you join a group and it's just not that active, or it's not really for you, then you can always leave it.
Oh, what about Grindr?
Oh yeah, I mean, Grindr totally works. You can use any of the more vanilla groups for stuff like that. It's just you may be less likely to find people who are interested. Or again, if you're on Grindr and you're posting all these cute diaper boy pics, people might come after you because they think you're a cute guy, but they might not specifically be into like the diaper thing. So just like bear that in mind if you're on like a not fetish specific site like Grindr. Like for those of you who are new to being gay, a lot of gay people are into various fetishes and don't mind a little crossplay and mixing and matching of things. But if you're not specifically on something for like diapers and fetishes, you might not find somebody who's 100% into it, but you still might find somebody who wants to play, or you might
try.
Yeah, you might open somebody else's eyes to this that they might not even have known it was a thing.
And it seems like guys are more open to fetishes and trying new fetishes and learning about them than a lot of straight people.
I think so, especially like in the gay community. Like I was just saying, there's a lot of fetishes that take place, and a lot of guys are not opposed to like some crossplay. So maybe a guy who's into S&M sees you in a picture of a diaper and he's like, oh, what's this all about? And you might not necessarily have all the information to give him, but the more time you spend in the community, the more deeply down the rabbit hole you go, then the more information you'll have for other people too.
I find that absitter.com is a really good resource and site for gay guys.
Well, I think they have more than just the gay stuff on there, but they do have a lot of stuff on there. Oh, no?
No,
maybe
not
I haven't
really.
been on there in a while.
Like, all their interviews and spotlights are all for guys. Yeah, I love going on there because I like seeing the spotlights, and I like hearing Chris talk or how he writes and his opinions on things. But for the most part, like, that's
seems like
his
it's
world.
mostly more geared towards gay guys. Okay.
Yeah, and he writes about what he's familiar with, so that's his world.
Yeah, so see, now I'm learning stuff too. I do most of my ABDL stuff on like Instagram at the moment. Like I feel like that's one of my bigger outlets, that, and then chatting on Telegram. But that's because I already know people who are there.
Right.
There is there's a little bit different once you start getting offline and start doing stuff in like the real world too. That can definitely be something that's like a deeper level of being like a gay man and also part of the ABDL community, because now you're kind of part of like two different subcultures. So it can be a little bit harder to find a niche, because there's all kinds of stuff for gay people, there's all kinds of stuff for ABDL people, and now you're kind of combining the two.
Right.
So I feel like online is definitely the best place to get a start going, but
it is.
It's great when you finally do get to meet like some friends and start doing some things in real life.
Yeah.
Or actually start meeting up with like possible daddies or bigs or other playmates who you may want to do stuff with.
What events have you gone to?
Well, there's a number of different events. Specifically, if you're gay, there's one called Diapered in the Desert, which takes place in Palm Springs.
Oh, yeah.
It takes place at a clothing optional resort, which is kind of cool because you can be as clad or unclad as you like. It is guys only, so if you're still kind of new to this and you're not really sure if you want to be involved with any, ladies, or you don't want women seeing you in this light, then it's comfortable for you because you're only going to be around men, and everybody who's there are all going to be like into it.
Yeah. Oh, so trans men allowed too.
Trans men are allowed too, yeah. There's this one called Diaper Active in Los Angeles, which takes place at a gay club, and it's usually just like a more mundane club, but like 1 or 2 times a year they do that, this Diaper Active event. And you get to go in and be in your diapers. You have to come in regular clothes, but once you're there, you can change into all your regalia and go diapers out, or walk around however you want.
There's go-go boys dancing in diapers.
Yeah, exactly. They got like go-go boys and dancers. Sometimes there's
and they have a tent with changing tables.
Yeah, exactly.
And
so there's usually like a big old giant line coming out of it, and then like as you go in, there'll be some random guy. Sometimes it's just a big, sometimes it's another little. Like I spent time as a changer in the changing tent before. Because you got to pay it back as well, because you also get the opportunity to get changed by somebody you've never met before, which for me is always super exciting.
Yeah.
But I can understand that can be a little bit daunting, especially if you're kind of more of a shy person.
Right. Yeah. But then when you see other people doing the same thing,
exactly.
then I think it'll relax you.
Right. And after you kind of waited in line for a long portion, you're like, all right, well, I've kind of made peace with the fact that I'm about to be seen naked by somebody I've never met before.
And you know what was really cool about when I went to Diaper Active is that there was a bunch of other guys in there that had known it was a diaper event and came in anyways and wanted to learn.
Yeah.
That was so cool. Like they had questions and they wanted to see the diaper boys. And maybe they thought they were hot, but they were willing to learn
and actually be there and experience this thing, which is so new to them.
Don't feel like it would be the same as much in the straight world
community, where like a straight like big or other people might just want to come in and just learn for the sake of learning about what it is, or
interacting with
people of a fetish or that they're not comfortable with or don't know about. That's interesting, actually. I wonder if you would see that kind of dynamic transfer over in straight culture versus gay culture. Not that it has to be a versus, but like for anybody who's new and just starting out to this, a lot of us come to it from a very like shy and childish place. And don't be afraid of being shy. Like, it's totally okay to be shy, but know that most of the people in this community are going to be accepting or interested in talking to you. Most people aren't going to shoot you down just for having desires, you know what I mean? Like, and there's a spectrum too, you know, like there's some guys who only just like diapers for the aesthetic. There's some guys who like diapers for the actual use. You've got people that want to just be pee boys, some people who want to be poopy boys, some people who want to be... Yeah, exactly. They just want to go pee-pee, and that's
Pee boys.
Pee boys.
I'm going to use that term on somebody.
Please, you can take it. I'm giving that one for free. If you put it out there and people aren't receptive, then, you know, maybe don't continue to bring it up under, you know, those specific circumstances, but there's definitely other people out there that share your interest and want to be involved and stuff like that, too.
Like, a good number of gay diaper boys go to TeddyCon. It's like a very good percentage. And even at CapCon, there's a very good percentage. And
I think you get like almost like a shotgun spread at Capcom. I think you get like all the kinds of littles there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've heard the TeddyCon too. I haven't made it myself yet. I'm maybe going to try and go next year. But I hear that one, like a lot of the friends that I know and have online, a lot of them go to TeddyCon or are familiar with TeddyCon. So I feel like there's a pretty good, like solid, like presence of like gay babies there.
Yeah.
Gaybies. I know too that up in San Francisco they do the Dirty Alley Street Fair, and then there's also
the big Folsom.
Folsom, yeah, and those are actually have gotten quite popular with a lot of diaper boys too, and obviously those are primarily gay events.
Yeah.
So you know you're gonna go and be around like-minded gay folk if you know that's something that makes you more comfortable, like being yourself in a fetish setting. But you can go there and you can totally be in like just your diaper or diaper onesies, and it's a great place if you're curious about like crossplay and stuff. If you want to work a little S&M in, or if you're into spanking, or you like leather or something like that, it's a good place. You can go be a diaper boy and find leather daddies, or you know, get flogged or something right there on the street or whatever.
Right, it's in your diaper.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good place to sort of like be seen, but also try out other stuff with your diapers. Because a lot of people I've met, straight people too, honestly, but especially like in the gay community, I feel like there's a lot of crossover from fetishes here. Like somebody will be into like pup play and diapers,
that's
or
huge.
Somebody will be like that's a big one.
Yeah.
Again, like leather I'd mentioned, any of the S&M stuff, any of the power exchange stuff, like lends itself really well to being in diapers. Maybe you only just found out about diapers because you like doctor play. Well, you're in luck because those go like pretty well together, and most other, I think, gay folks are willing to experiment or play around.
And I know Tykables, they sponsor a big booth at Folsom Street Fair.
Tykables also does Diapered in the Desert. They usually give out a bunch of diapers for that as well.
Oh yeah, I've seen the picture of the diaper cake.
Yeah, everything is awesome, and everybody got some.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that's how it worked.
Yeah, it's like we all pulled it apart and everybody got like 2 or 3 diapers off of it. Diapered in the Desert is kind of a smaller event though, because it takes place in a smaller venue. So chances are, if you're trying to do that one, that, oh no, Peanut.
His name is Peanut.
His name's Peanut.
Oh my god. I always thought if I ever got another Pomeranian, I would name him Peanut.
It's a great name. He like looks like a little peanut. He's like peanut shaped.
My husband would be embarrassed to like yell it in public.
That's even like a good reason to name him too.
So Diapered in the Desert is a smaller event. I heard it's going to get bigger. Like they're going to outgrow their
venue. Yeah, like we've already got more people than are really like that are comfortable to fit, and again the rooms themselves sell out really fast.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of people end up coming always have to like get a room elsewhere, you know, and then they come to the event site and go back, which is fun, but it's not as fun as when you just get to like you know, sleep there and wake up there and like do the whole thing.
That venue is so small.
Yeah, it's kind of tiny. I mean, it's nice if you you know, if you've only got like 20 or 30 people there at a time, but like that once you really start getting more than that, like it starts getting a little bit too crowded, and it's kind of hard to like move around the pool deck and stuff like that.
Tell us a fun Diapered in the Desert story.
The thing about Diapered in the Desert is because you're at a resort and you've got all these rooms to work with, they generally like will separate certain rooms for certain things. So like last year, the room that I was in, well, I guess not last year because that would have been 2020. But so the year before that, the room I was in was actually like the playroom. So we set up like an actual swing, like a big like leather swing.
Yeah.
And so like there's the couch and the bed and the swing, and then the floor had like stuffed animals all over it. So it was kind of this cool room where people could just like wander into at any point in time during the day or night, and you get a little bit of play. We had like a big sort of situation going on the bed at one point.
Okay, so we're talking about the little orgy
yes.
in your room.
Now we're gonna come back and it's gonna be like, what is it?
Now you have a baba and you're a redheaded witch.
Baba.
And we also have food.
Yes. Okay, so we were talking about we're recording?
Yep.
Okay, good deal. So we had a number of us on the bed. Some of us were in diapers. Some of us had no diapers on, you know. Everybody's being safe. Nobody was going potty on the bed. But, we were doing pretty much all the fun stuff from, you know, just some, like, cuddles and snuggles all the way up to, like, actual, like, fucking. Well, we probably can't say fucking on YouTube.
Yeah, you can say fucking.
Sure, okay.
Oh, yeah, there's, like, how to do anal sex videos on YouTube and educational sex toy videos.
I've not seen some of these. All right.
It's very, like, liberal now on YouTube.
We were pretty much involved. There was, like, this one cute couple. They were in from somewhere up north. And they were looking to, like, play around with others. So, like, it was myself and then another friend of mine named... we'll keep names out of it, actually. Yeah. Another friend of mine from Australia who was involved, and another friend who had come in from Chicago. And it was just kind of like this fun, multicultural event on this bed. And then another friend of mine who's a local was in the swing. And he was having, like, breath control play stuff done, and a little bit of ass play, and some edging done. Yeah.
That sounds so amazing.
Yeah, it was, a lot of fun. Like, there's just, like, a bunch of wild stuff going on there. So if you're into the more sexual aspect, there was that for it. There was also another room, which was just the snuggle room, and that primarily had, like, just, like, pillows and blankies. And that's where some of the people that weren't actually staying on site did kind of, like, sneak in for the night, like, stayed over a night or two. Right. But yeah, like, there was usually, like, movies and stuff, so that was, like, if you were more into the little aspect and not as much into the sexual aspect, we kind of had, like, the two rooms. So you go into the one room, and that's for, like, more the kinky stuff, and then if you wanted to go into another room, then that was more for just, like, being little and friendly and cutesy and not as much of the intensity. And then you got the pool, so there's a lot of, like, skinny dipping because there's no diapers allowed in the pool, so pretty much everybody, a few people brought, like, actual trunks, but most of us just, like, stripped out of our diapers and, like, hopped right in, and we had, like, beach balls we were playing with, and there was, like all kinds of floaties. Like, I brought this big peacock float, and it could fit, like, 3 people on it, so we would just be, like, floating around, working on our tans, sipping on cocktails out of sippy cups.
Oh my goodness.
There's always, like,
heaven.
Yeah, oh, it's so fun. It's, like, such a great event.
Oh my god.
They always have a souvenir for each specific event, too. So, like, it's been a sippy cup, it's been a binky holder, like a clip for, like, your onesie and stuff. So they do a lot of cool stuff. So every time you go, you get to, like, get a fun little souvenir just for showing up. Oh. And then you also get to have, like, all this fun with all these other diaper boys. We did a fashion show this last year, so, like, you could, like, come bring, like, your favorite, like, little stuff. Like, we had some people doing sissy stuff, some people just wearing the regular baby gear. I did, like a bowler hat, and, like, I have, like, a romper that kind of looks like a tux. So I was doing, like, this whole, like, dapper and diapers thing. So that was kind of fun to be part of that.
Is there a lot of daddies that go?
Not too many. A friend of mine who's a daddy went, and then one of our local bigs here in Las Vegas went.
I probably know who.
And there's a few switches that go, but most everybody who went was pretty much on, like, the middle to little side of things, I would say. So it's definitely more heavily...
If I start transitioning now.
Yeah, right? Maybe you can be in time.
Well...
but yeah, no, that's specifically a great event. But you can do things like, if you look around online, once you start getting more comfortable using things like FetLife or some of these other, like, diaper boys and things, you may start learning about what's called munches usually, and that's when a bunch of littles get together. Most munches are mixed as far as straights and gays, but because it's mixed, you'll get both people there. So if you are primarily interested in meeting gay people, then there can be, like, specifically gay munches that are organized, but even if you go to a regular munch, you're still going to, like, find and meet, like, other gay people while you're there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I would say, like, most of my closer diaper friends tend to be gay, and I don't know if that's just because I'm gay too, and that's who I meet, but I like to get along, like, with all people from the ABDL community. Like, I like little boys and little girls, I like mommies and daddies, I like bigs and middles and switches of all varieties, but when I do go for the sexual side of things, I do generally always trend towards men or other boys. Like, for me, my biggest turn on is, like, bigs and daddies, because I like that power exchange dynamic between somebody who is, like, in charge and calling the shots, and then me kind of being, like, his little sidekick or his little buddy. But that doesn't mean that I wouldn't also have a lot of fun with, like, another diaper boy. Or if I'm romantically inclined towards a big or a daddy, I could still have friends who are littles, and we can, like, pal around and enjoy watching, like, cartoons or coloring books or whatever it is that we want to get into, arts and crafts and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'd say let your creativity flow and see where, things take you. Just don't close yourself off to experiences. Sort of find out what it is that appeals to you, and then start, more going towards that kind of stuff. But there's a whole bunch of different things to experience in the grand world of ABDL. So I don't usually... Oh, yeah. Sorry, you have a question?
Oh, yeah, an event thing.
Yeah.
I want to bring up the Disneyland Littles trip that happens...
I haven't gone on that, actually, but I would love
October. The Littles Disneyland space trip or whatever actually happens on gay days.
Does it? Well, that makes sense, because it's probably a little bit easier to... The gays are probably a little more accepting of it than...
Right, and I guess, like, the people who are, like, uber religious would just avoid...
Generally not go on those days,
on that day, yeah. So I think a lot of people went last year. I think the last one was, like, over 100 people.
Wow.
But because it's gay days, then these two paths cross.
Yeah, exactly. So whether you're littles or gays, yeah. I feel like gays in general are pretty accepting of littles. Again, you're going to find people who are and are not okay with it on all sides, but because gays are more accepting in general of like alternative lifestyles and fetishes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, both of those. I feel like you're in a more accepting community than maybe someone who's just, like, specifically straight. And two, you'll meet a lot of ABs who are not just specifically gay, but are, some version of, like, polyamorous, or who, are a little bit more on the bi spectrum, where they might slide back and forth a little bit. So, like, not everybody who's little is going to be just straight up straight or gay. You'll probably meet people who are somewhere in between, more pansexual.
Where do you think is the best place to find daddies?
Well, if I knew that, maybe I'd have one. Again, I feel like the internet is always your best resource to go to first, but there are several places that you can go, like, in person. Like, if you have fetish bars or leather bars, like, near or around you, that's a good place you can go and usually show up. You might not want to show up your very first time, like, in full little mode, but maybe show up and, like, wear a diaper, see if you get hit on, or talk to some, more butch or masculine guys. Because just because somebody's butch or masculine doesn't mean they're going to be a daddy, but they might be more open and receptive to it than if you're just, like, at, like, a more standard, like, gay bar, and it's, like, maybe it's all twinks or something like that. Right. You may find a daddy in there, but you might not find somebody who's as in that daddy mode. But just because you go to, like, a leather bar and you see some mean guy who looks like he rode in on a motorcycle doesn't necessarily mean he wants to be in charge of you either. So,
right, yeah.
But in person, I would say look for things that are already, like, more, like, fetish based, or that are specifically S&M things.
That's a good way to approach it. Like, go to other S&M events,
places. Yeah, exactly.
Classes.
Yeah, exactly. There's classes for things, there's events that take place, so if you can find those kind of things, they'll generally be at least somewhat accepting. And if you're really not sure about it, like, if you can reach out to, like, one of the people who puts these events on and say, like, hey, I'm an ABDL and I want to come and be able to express myself in that way, is that okay at these events? Or do you, like, is it only, ropes, or is it only leather, or is it only whatever? But again, like I said, in the gay community, you get a lot of crossover. So, if you meet a guy who's into spanking, he might not care that you're in a diaper. You know what I mean? Or if you meet somebody who's, into being in charge, or you meet somebody else who's kind of a middle, then they might not care that you're a full-on little as well.
So have you ever gone to an event, gay or straight, and not felt welcome being a diaper boy if you were presenting as a diaper boy? Not from like a wholesale standpoint where, like, I feel like this event is just not for me at all. Yeah.
I've definitely met people or talked to people who were super like standoffish or mean or rude or thought that what I was doing wasn't like
Wait, what?
cool or gross.
Really?
I mean, yeah, it happens. I mean, just like anywhere else, like you get people in the gay community who are cool and nice and friendly, and you get people who are not. But again, if somebody's not going to be nice to you, then just don't continue bugging them. Let them do their own thing, and you go do your own thing. But no, I personally haven't been to any events where I felt like just being little was enough that I was going to be like unwelcomed at all. Honestly, in general, because most people who know me in general now all know that I'm little too. So I feel like a lot of us are afraid to like let that cat out of the bag, or worried that people aren't going to accept us or think that we're weird. And you definitely will find people like that. Don't let me tell you that you won't. But almost everybody I know knows that I'm little and that I wear diapers and that I'm a baby boy a good chunk of the time. And most people are totally cool with it. A lot of people have questions, and some people just don't care. But I've very rarely met like people who really like came at me hard or like mean or told me I was disgusting or anything like that. So
Right.
So people are more understanding and accommodating of it than I think. People definitely maybe think it's weird. That's a definite thing. They'll be like,
Yeah.
all right, well, you do you. But
Right.
but most people, at least in my experience, have not been mean to me based on the fact that I'm a little. And again, you gotta play it safe. Like if I'm just going to the grocery store, I might have overalls on, and maybe I'll be wearing like a cute onesie under it or something, but I'm probably not gonna like go in like sucking a passy, or I'm not gonna like start crawling around like on the floor. You know what I mean? You gotta figure like where you're at and like act accordingly. But yeah, I feel like you can get away with being dressed like silly or getting away with like little clothes. Like I've been wearing like children's shirt with like like a cool like superhero print on it, and people are like, oh, it's a cool shirt. Or
But that's what they sell now at Walmart.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
At Forever 21.
Right, exactly.
All the
You get that kind of
cartoony
stuff.
Rugrats and all that stuff. Yeah,
absolutely. Like I wear shortalls all the time, like shortalls and or overalls, weather
Right.
depending. And I get like comments as often as not. Like I'll be wearing ones from like baby pants from back in the day, the Tykeables ones where the snaps are relatively obvious, and either people just don't notice or they do notice, and they're like, oh, that's cool. But yeah, I feel like if you're just owning it, don't let your little side wear it. But yeah, I feel like if you're just being yourself and like enjoying yourself, then people will see that as opposed to seeing something negative. Just be yourself and have a good time, and if you're not trying to make other people uncomfortable, chances are they won't be. Like if you're going out of your way to be like, ooh, look at me, then yeah, you're going to get that kind of attention. But if you're just out there being your awesome self, then that's what people are going to see. This is making fun.
I can't take
Headbanging witch. Oh no, I lost it. I do love this thing. It's so silly.
It is silly. They have different ones too.
Do they?
Like Frankenstein and stuff. I'm like,
Oh, that makes sense.
I need
actually,
to buy these.
you get like a whole collection.
Yeah.
So you just blow that up once and it just stays blown up the whole time? Like, has that been since Halloween?
I just sealed it and that's it.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Hope you guys learned something.
Yeah, once again, his Diaperness or Soggy Prince. You can find me under one or the other on pretty much anything.